Ciao, guys. What's going on? It's Wednesday afternoon here in Canada, 3 p.m. We're back with another episode of TMG Podcast, our first episode of 2018. It's been a hectic December with holidays and exam season and all that. We're back for our mid-season review so we played 20 matches in Serie A so far, Milan has. So we thought this would be a good time during the mini Serie A break to do a show. I have very special guests. One is Mike, the other owner of the TheMilanGuys. He hasn't been on the podcast since like August because he's been so busy. Mike, welcome back. It's good to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's glad to be back. I've missed doing the podcast, and we'll start off 2018 the right way, doing a podcast.
And my other guest, making his debut on the pod, a good friend of mine, and he made a new Twitter account and we shouted him out. Lucas Uggenti. Lucas, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, glad to be here. Excited.
Perfect. So yeah, let's dive right into it. You know, a lot to talk about after 20 Serie A games and 6 Europa League games and a couple Coppa Italia games. Let's get right into it. I put the topics yesterday on Twitter. We're going to talk about. So our mid-season review. Okay, so what we're going to do with this, basically, talk about, top to bottom, how we started, not go through every game, just go through some high points and some low points that's happened so far in 20 Serie. We'll just focus on Serie A mostly. We'll just talk about maybe the key players need to improve or disappointments. And then we'll move on to Gattuso's work so far after that. So let's get right into it. Our record is we have 8 wins, 8 losses, which it pays me to say that, and we have 4 draws to go with that. Mike, let's start with you. What do you think? We started out of the gates very, very well. We beat Crotone, beat Cagliari. What do you think changed after that fine start to the Serie A season?
I think it was just the constant repetitiveness of what Montella was doing, and it didn't seem like he was adapting to the opponents. He just approached every opponent with the same mentality and game plan, which is obviously wrong. Every opponent is different, every team is different, therefore you should have a different plan per the team. And I think that's kind of where it started. And then obviously, as well as people like we'll talk about later, like Andre Silva didn't get enough playing time and that kind of stuff. So I felt like the team started turning on him as a whole, as a collective. It wasn't just a few players turning on him. And then obviously once you're losing your team with your coach in terms of not being on the same page, obviously things are naturally going to go on a downfall, and you always hear the theories of whether the team is purposely losing just to get the coach fired. Who knows? We'll never obviously know. But you can tell at that point around like the games you mentioned, you've seen a turning point. It was just a bland culture. Like they weren't doing anything. It was nothing special. It was just hoping for the best, but you knew there was not much to hope for. So I think that's when it kind of started, and now it's kind of a little bit of breath of new life with Gattuso coming around. A few shaky results, but overall the play has been better. The guys look more engaged. Everyone looks, as Bonucci says, hungrier than ever. So other than that, like it's a promising start to 2018, and truly wish for the best and hope for the best throughout the rest of the season.
For sure. Good point there. And obviously there's a lot of things that Montella didn't do right, especially in his second season. After having a successful first season with Milan, Montella just couldn't get it right this year. Too much pressure. And we do give kudos for him for the good work he did put in last year. He did do very well and gave the squad a lot of determination with the lack of quality we actually had in the squad, and brought us our first trophy in a few years. So just like you said, it's his struggle to adapt, and he just kind of kept afloat. And also the change to 3 at the back didn't really do great for us. I think we changed the 3 at the back against Lazio, and we got killed. I don't 100% know, but we changed one of those games. Maybe it was in Europa League. We switched up, but honestly, it's too bad because in the first few weeks of the season, I was very optimistic. I thought, okay, we're going to compete for top 4. We beat teams comfortably, and it all kind of went to crap. just to put it that way, with a few losses, a few unlucky losses as well, problem scoring goals. Lucas, we'll go to you now. Just a question, throughout the 20 games of Serie A, what has been, let's go positive first. What's been the most positive thing you've seen with the team over 20 games?
Through the first 20 games, I mean, there hasn't been too many positives. But if we're gonna try and decipher one, I'd say it's the young players. Guys like Calabria, they're playing good ball. They're playing very good football here. And at the end of the day, we can't nitpick everything, right? They are young. It is a learning process.
Yeah.
Starting at the back too with Donnarumma. I mean, he's taking a lot of heat right now, and it's not fair to him. It's not fair to the team, and he could be a leader. I mean, he's one of the youngest guys on the team, and he's one of our best players. And when a guy like that is crying at the end of a game and whatnot, it affects the team as a whole, right? And like I said, he's young. He's young, and if you're gonna look at anything, that's a positive in itself. He's young and he's valuable. Calabria, young and valuable. Silva, Cotrone, like just skillful players who are 22 and under, and it's very nice to see that Gattuso is attempting to create something there with the young players, right?
You're right. No, you're right, and it's we do have a young core of players that a few, like the Serie A team, the other Serie A teams that like the top 5 Serie A teams actually don't have. We do have a core of young players, especially Italian players, that has been an issue for other clubs, especially like our cousins Inter. And you're right, it is positive. Calabria is playing very, very well now. And obviously Andrea Conti would be in that spot. And his return, they say he's going to return end of January, early February. And his injury is bigger than what people think it is. I think with him, we would have been able to snatch a lot more points throughout the season. Andrea Conti is a very, very good player, and he's probably a top two right fullback in Serie A for me. And he's young too. He's just very good on the ball, and his off the ball movement is huge. What Milan lacked. Mike, let's go back to you. I know there's a lot of negatives, but I don't want to focus on everything because it's just not fun doing that. Give me 3 negative things that throughout the 20 games that have contributed to us being in the bottom half of Serie A table of 20 games.
Lack of diversity through lineups and tacticalness. The lack of effort, and that's back again going associated with when you could tell the team was losing focus with Montella. So obviously that's naturally going to hurt you if that was their intention, as I mentioned earlier. Those two, and I think it was just also the natural lack of confidence. Like it's any sports, regardless, whatever sport, whatever team. Naturally, especially when you're that invested that kind of money, if you're losing that many games, you're naturally not confident as a team, whether it's individual performances or just as a whole, the team isn't confident. That's naturally going to affect the whole, and it displayed on the pitch. You can see guys were just kind of there because they had to be. They didn't have an enthusiasm. They didn't have a will to go out, even though things were going wrong. Let's just try to make it better. Now that Gattuso's here, you can tell there's a fire breathing in that locker room now, that the guys are like, you know what, we've kind of dug ourselves a hole, but the season's still open, and why not try and salvage whatever we can. So I would say those are the 3 points that I would mainly associate with the sluggishness after those games that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, no, those are good points. And obviously with the coaching change now, our results have been obviously there are a few results that we wish we would have been able to pick up some more points, and a couple losses even with Gattuso. But excuse me, overall it's been pretty decent. Especially getting that big win right before the break. If we would have lost that, or maybe even give up the lead and they would have got a point from it, there would have been a lot of talking, a lot of media talk over the next 2 weeks for our next game. So it's good that we won that. And guys, and looking at it, there's so much to play for in the second half of the season.
So much.
Like the season's not done whatsoever. The Serie A table changes every single week, so it's just one of those things where You have to keep positive, and all these losses and bad results will be worth it when we start winning, which should be soon, especially with Gattuso and his fight that he's given the players, and now the players, and now Milan the players are covering way more ground now than they were a month ago. And that's the Gattuso effect, and I trust Gattuso to help this team and unite this team, and he's doing a good job so far. And I think with this 2-week break, everybody's on vacation and stuff, come back refreshed.
Why is everybody in Dubai?
I don't know. I don't know. They're all in Dubai. They're all in Dubai, and then like Silva and Cutrone, are they hanging out together? I'm not really sure. Like, what's going on over there? I have no idea. And then Cutrone is in the desert with a camel. What?
Yeah, but where else are you supposed to go?
I don't know.
They're already from Italy. I mean, it's already a beautiful country. You might as well go to Dubai.
Oh, no problem. No issue with that. Just ironic how like they're all there.
Yeah, oh, you're right. And then but Suzo's in the Maldives though. Suzo, in the Maldives with his girlfriend or wife. But yeah, no, it's good. And it's generally speaking, our team's pretty healthy. Besides Conti. But the team is pretty healthy. There's no injuries. Bonaventura's okay. Everybody's kind of okay. So it's good. Hopefully they can rest up and come back in a couple weeks against Cagliari away, which is going to be a tricky fixture. So over the 20 games, I think we had a few really, really good performances. I think even a few of them that we lost, we actually played really well. And like when we lost to Napoli 2-1 at the San Paulo, we actually played a good match there. Unfortunately, lost 2-1. Also, when we played a couple of matches against like Torino and stuff like that, which we tied, which we should have won. We should have scored. We lack of finishing, goalkeepers making miracle saves. So there's, when you look at the 28 points that Milan have in the table, there's, you look at it, and of course it's second guessing, but you look at it and say if they would have picked up 2 points here, 3 points here, or another point here, we'd be at a different spot, and we'd be in 6th place, right behind Lazio and Roma's tail. But unfortunately, that's how it is this season, and we do have some time to fight back. There's not really much room for mistakes in the second half of the season. Obviously, we have to beat the teams who we should be beating. We can't be losing to teams who are below us in the table. And hopefully we don't get unlucky with a Benevento goalkeeper bullet glancing header to the far post in the 95th minute. That would only happen to Milan, and I'm still convinced that it's just unlucky. If people won't believe me, I'll get hate for it, but it's just like the goalie literally threw his head at the ball and it went right in the far corner. Like, there's nothing you can do. It's just
absolutely not. Donnarumma was
no,
on that. That was
it's just one of those things where it's like, if you have the Summit Milan season so far, that's the video you would show. That goal. Let's move on. Lucas, is there a particular match that you've seen, even recent or in the last season, that one of those matches where you think if we can play like this, consistently, we'd be in a way better shape as a squad?
If I'm being honest, and I know this might sound a little cliche because we ended up pulling out the win, but that match against Inter, I mean, it was unbelievable in my eyes. It was one of the best performances I thought we had as a team together. I mean, it looked like they were working hard. There was a means to their ends. It was They wanted to win. They knew what that win meant to not only AC Milan but their fans and their program and Gattuso alone. It looks like they played for their coach. I mean, going back to what Mike was saying, under Montella, they just did not seem to care. If they lost, it bounced off them, and that was it. And that Inter game proved to me that Gattuso has gotten to them. It's more than just a match to them now. Now it's winning to win and not winning just to play the game of soccer. And it's nice to see. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think we dominated Inter. We played way better than Inter that match. Even Inter fans will tell you that Inter had a really bad match. We played way better. Antonio Donnarumma comes in, makes a few nice saves.
Absolutely. That was unbelievable.
Really good, really, really good performance. And this guy's like Frank Kessie. Kessie dominated that match. The way he would run with the ball, no one can push him off the ball, and that's like vintage Frank Kessie. Even though he's only 21 years old, so he says, could be 40. We don't know, but yeah, that's definitely a good example. That was a great match, and it was only fitting that Patrick Cutrone from a Suso assist past Milan Skriniar, with a nice finish, and that was a good game, and it was a good win. It was a good victory, and now we go on to play Lazio in the Coppa Italia, which in two legs, which is very winnable. I'm honestly, I know they beat us early in the season, but right now with Gattuso, I'm not too scared of Lazio. And with Bonucci playing like Bonucci, I think he can contain Immobile. But we'll see. We'll see. Mike, is there before we move on, is there a certain match that you enjoyed the most in the first half of the season? Could be any time.
Oh, it'd be the Inter game too.
Inter game too. Oh, is there any others? Come on, you gotta be original.
It's hard to say just because I don't think anything will ever top a derby.
No, for sure. No,
of course, right? Yeah. But to pinpoint one other one than that,
I'll give you a few options. You can tell me.
I'm just trying to track back because obviously there's been quite a few games.
There's one that's a good one is the Chievo win at the Bentagodi, 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Another one would be Sassuolo. We beat them 2-0. That was a good one away. Even like that, I remember that first match of the season against Crotone. Even though they had 10 men, that was like pure dominance. That was like men against boys. I thought, okay, this is our season. Like this is our season to do well. Conti, Suso, Kessi on the right side.
I think also that Udinese game back earlier in the season.
Oh, we beat them 2-1.
Because that's a team I remember last year we struggled with. We couldn't even beat, right?
Yeah, we lost both times to them.
Yeah,
we lost both times. Yeah. But yeah, so let's move on now. Mid-season, you got 28 points. Half a season to forget, but that can all be forgotten with guys. To put it in perspective, if we can win a string of matches, we win like 4 or 5 matches in a row. That's 12 points. Like 4 matches is 12 points. It's 15 points. You win 5 matches in a row. And those 15 points prove crucial. Like, you know what I mean? So, it's interesting, and I'm excited for the next half of the season. So let's move on. Gennaro Gattuso's 40th birthday yesterday. And truly, I say this with no bias. Montella obviously lost the room. He wasn't able to adapt. Gattuso's Milan looks much different. Looks much different than Montella's. We look much better with Gattuso, just in our fluidity of play, and we're playing as a cohesive unit. And again, we're playing for each other. We're playing for the fans, for each other. It just looks like there's more of an effort. Even in the matches we lost against Atalanta, we lost against them. We didn't have Suso that game, or Romagnoli, because Lucas suspended. But we scored 1 and got disallowed, and you know what I mean. And then even against Hellas Verona, we lost 3-0. In reality, Verona should have had no business winning that match. But they had 3 chances and they scored on 3. They had 3 chances, 3 goals. We had 32 shots on net and nothing to show for it, right? So it's tough. It's tough that way. Against Atalanta and Hellas Verona, we had, I think, combined 53. I tweeted it. We had 53 attempts on goal in those 2 games with 0 goals. So something's got to give. But yeah, let's move on. Lucas, start with you. You can add whatever you need, and then Mike can go on and rant a little bit about Gattuso's work. Lucas, what have you noticed? And aside from what I just said, what have you noticed about Gattuso's style of play? And he said, I'm not just a Grinta guy. I have a UFA license. I'm a tactician. I know tactics. So what do you think? Even just one thing? What do you think he's done well so far with this side?
I think he offers Milanisti a sense of hope, and I think that's what he's built upon. It's at the end of the day, you're right. You're license, and I think a lot of times we forget that he is still a head coach of Milan, and it's not just Gattuso coaching as a player. It's Gattuso coaching as a tactician, and he still has to figure things out. I mean, there has been a couple different lineup changes under Gattuso, and yeah, a couple times they're not going to work, and it's going to look like Gattuso, what are you thinking? But at the end of the day, he does have to try, and he needs to see who fits in which position and which he likes better. So I think time, and with time, he will become better, obviously. I mean, he did come up from the Primavera. He didn't have any other experience, so this is his first job. And it's unfortunate under the circumstance, but at the end of the day, he is doing a good job. And I mean, in an interview, he said, "I still think like a player, believing that with hunger and sense of belonging, you can go far." And I mean, if that doesn't bring you inspiration and hope right there, what else can?
Yeah, I know exactly. He's our place. Milan is Gattuso's home. Milan is Gattuso. He's actually Calabrese. He's a paisan of of mine and Mike's too. Mike, you're Calabrese, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Lucas, are you Calabrese as well or no?
My mother's Calabrese.
Okay, there you go.
My dad's from Puglia, though.
Okay, so he's Barese.
That's it.
I'm Barese too. That's cool. So yeah, he's just one of those guys where it's his home here and he knows what he has to do. And you saw with all the birthday wishes that the legends gave his, yesterday. They all said, like, I believe in you, Rino. I believe in you. You're where you're supposed to be and stuff like that. And I think that he's the guy right now, at least for right now. And it's his. This is his trial. And honestly, if it doesn't go well in the next few months, they're not going to fire him. They'll probably put him back to the Primavera squad. There's no way they fire him because he was obviously put in a situation where he wasn't expecting, so they can't blame him for that. If they
absolutely.
they're making a huge mistake.
For sure.
But Mike, what do you think, tactically, anything spirit-wise, what do you think, what have you seen from Gattuso's work so far?
I always knew he was going to bring in the Grinta stuff, so that was kind of obvious. It's two things. More like being able to rally the guys in after obviously letting go of Montella. Like, you're a new coach. Like, they don't know you apart from you being a legend, right? None of these guys have played with him. So, obviously, he has to rally them up. He's done a good job of that. But also, as well, tactically, I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. I know he's a certified coach and all that stuff, but, like, that comes from experience, tactics, and all that. And he did pretty well. Like, you see them pressuring the way they move the ball. Like, it's not stale. Like, there's a little creativity. Okay, it's still not what it's supposed to be, but there's movement, there's flow in the way they play, there's fluidity. They're not just relying on these forward long balls. Like, you see cuts in, you see passing, all this kind of stuff. So it's pleasant to see, and it's hopeful, and it's something I wasn't truly expecting from him. Not that he's not capable, it's just thinking more that he'd be a Grinta guy, but he's proven a lot of people wrong. So big props to him. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think for me, his work his best work he's done so far is that that I've noticed is our off the ball movement has been much better. With Montella at the end there, players wouldn't move, and it's not even Montella's fault. It's just players wouldn't move off the ball. There was no movement. Nobody was breaking through the lines. No one was passing through the lines and breaking the lines, and that's what you have to have guys who are able to do that. In order to to create chances and stuff like that. And we have some class players like Suso and Bonaventura who can do that, but there's no off the ball movement. And only, to be honest, there's a point where the only guy who was making off the ball moves was like Fabio Borini when he's playing fullback. He's the only one who's working hard. He doesn't have that much skill, so he has to work hard. But it's just kind of it wasn't working for us, and that's a big thing that I've noticed. And I think that. And we're actually, possession-wise, whatever, even attempts, we're dominating teams. We really are. Like against Crotone, that we should have beat them. Well, we had 2 disallowed goals that I think were both BS. I think they should have been allowed. Personally, I saw nothing wrong with Kessie's goal, and I saw nothing wrong with Kalinch's goal either. So I'm not sure. So really, if those get correctly called, it's 3-0. So the 1-0 win was huge for us. Just the 3 points at home in front of the fans for the break is huge, and that's for me, I call that a professional performance, a professional win.
Yeah.
And that's what we need more. That's what we need more of, right? We need professional wins. So I think that's I think this has been doing really, really well. And so Lucas, what do you think? What do you think Gattuso has to do in order to maybe even keep a job with the Rossoneri next season, in the second half of the season? What does he have to accomplish?
Well, I mean, obviously we want to win trophies. We have
yeah, but
we have
like
two chances of that.
that might be, yeah, but that might be, asking a lot of any coach.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, going into the semifinals, you're right. We do have a good chance in the Coppa Italia. But I mean, what can he do? What can he do with the team we have? I think he just needs to swim or sink, and he's obviously not going to sink. He just needs to settle the boat a little bit and just coast to the end of the season. I mean, you're right. We need a couple more professional wins here, but at the end of the day, we're not going to go on a winning sheet that's going to send us up into the top three. And if it happens, I can't wait to watch that. But if we're being realistic, we're going to finish middle of the pack, and that is okay. That is okay for us at the time. At the beginning of the season, it wasn't that great, and we can't expect too much to be disappointed and then the blame fall back on Gattuso, because at the end of the day, it isn't his fault, and he's doing everything he can. What I'd like to see from him more is maybe start Silva a little more. I mean, no one knows what's really going on.
He needs minutes. I don't know what's going on either. And
yeah, no one knows what's going on. I mean, behind closed doors, there could be an issue, but Cotrone deserves his spot, but so does Silva. Silva deserves minutes. I mean, I don't understand truly why Kalinic is still in the starting 11. I mean, he brings what he brings, and from what I've seen and however many games he's played, it's truly not much. He's a big forward. Why are you not holding up the ball? Why is there no hold up play? Why is your first pass always off target? And it's just frustrating. We paid a lot of money for the guy, right? And I would like to see him do well, but if he's not, there are capable players. And again, we don't know what's going on. But for me, I'd like to see Silva play a little bit more. And I do like the formation he is playing. Other than that, Gattuso, keep doing what you're doing. Get your professional wins, finish the season, and we hope for the best.
Yeah, I think, and Mike just texted me. He legged out, so he's going to try to – his internet's all being funky, so it's okay. No worries. He'll come in when he can. For me personally, and with the Coppa Italia and Europa League, Milan right now are only 2 points. We're 2 points out of 6th. Okay, so 6th is the Europa League spot.
Yes,
there's a few teams fighting for it. Realistically, we should be able to overcome Sampdoria. We should get 6th place. So Europa League should be a get. We should be, if we can't get in the top 4, just get Europa League again. Make a little bit of money from the Europa League revenue. Just to balance a little bit of the books, and whatever. However, then there's the Coppa Italia, which now we're in the semifinal, which is 2 legs against Lazio. We can beat Lazio. Anybody can win those matches. We don't know. I mean, it'd be hard. They're a tough side with a good coach, but we can beat Lazio. So, if we were able to get to the final, the Coppa Italia final against Juve or whatever, whoever we have to play. I think it's Juve Atalanta. So either we play Juve or Atalanta in the final. I'm going to go with the Juve. I say Juve beat Atalanta. We're going to play Juve in the final, then it's just one match. Anybody can win. We beat them in the Supercoppa last year. Anything can happen. So, and if you win that, you get a little bit of money too. So there's, and then you look at the Europa League, right? Right now that we're competing in, the round of 32, we got a good draw. Ludogorets, they're no pushover. They're a tough side. However, from who we could have got, it's a good draw. So, honestly, there's a chance that we can, definitely come out on top. Ludogorets, especially with the second leg being at San Siro, maybe get an away goal. Get an away goal first, and then just kind of calm things down at San Siro. Get another one, kind of like we did with Craiova in the summer. But if we get a decent draw, kind of like Manchester United did last season, if we're able to get a good draw down the stretch, there's a few tough teams like Atletico, Napoli, Borussia Dortmund, Celtic, Atalanta, Lazio. If we're able to get a decent draw, down the stretch, there's a chance that we can make a run. And that's what I'm thinking, that if Gattuso can make a run in Europa League, give us Europa League and Serie A, and make a run for the Coppa Italia final, there's a chance that he keeps his job. If he's able to unite this team, make them play like Mirabelli and Fasone want them to play, then if not, if that doesn't happen, there's no way there's no way they fire Gattuso. If they do, they're making a massive mistake, and there's no way. It has to be either one or the other. So we'll be okay, fine as we are, like Galliani used to say. Mike, are you here? Are you just joined back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened? Your internet's all weird?
Yeah.
That's weird. It's pretty budget.
It's like
Okay.
old Milan budgets.
So Mike, we're just talking about so essentially, if Gattuso was able to make a run in Europa League and stuff like that, make a run for Coppa Italia and get good results in Serie A, there's a small chance he keeps his job over the summer.
Why not? I think he deserves it.
No, exactly, and I wish the best for him. I love him. He's from Calabria, so he's always been, back in the day, he's always been that guy that I'm in love with, and he's a paisano, and yeah. So let's move on. Enough about Gattuso in the midst. Now let's look at the next. We have 18 games left in Serie A, and we have a decent schedule on the stretch. Let me tell you guys our fixtures coming up, and how many points we should really get from it. So we play Cagliari in a couple of weeks away. It's going to be a tough fixture. However, if we're serious about this season, it's a team we have to beat. Right after that, the week after that, we're against Lazio at home. Again, a winnable game at home. If it was in Stadio Olimpico, it's tough, but at home, it's definitely a winnable game. And then we have Udinese away, Spal away, and Sampdoria at home. And that's right before we have Roma, then Inter, then Genoa, Chievo, Juventus. So realistically, for me, I think that if we're serious, about making a comeback in this Serie A season, out of the 5 games from Cagliari to Sampdoria, we have to go 4-1, at least 4-1, at least win 4. I'm not sure which 4 it's going to be. Say we lose, you drop 1. Say we drop the 1 to Lazio at home. You have to win the other 4. If not, you're obviously not serious about the season. And, if we don't get results in Serie A, then we're obviously going to have to shift our total focus to Europa League, which we already are now, and Coppa Italia. But we'll have to see. It's going to take, I think someone in the math, it's about 70 points, 75 points probably to reach top 4. Maybe even around 80, depending on how many points the top 4 teams drop from now to the end of the season. So, Mike, what do you think in regards to the top 4 teams slipping up and us possibly coming back? What do you think of the chances of that? Inter are already dropping points, but what do you think of the chances of that over the next 18 games?
I mean, anything's possible, obviously. Especially if it keeps on fluctuating at the top 4 and people get injured, things happen, teams go in slumps, they go on runs, especially this year, top 4 teams, it keeps on fluctuating every week, so we'll never know. But however, just because of the hole we dug ourselves, I don't think top 4 is a possibility. Obviously, I'm not being a Debbie Downer, but I'm just being realistic. However, I think top 6 is a possibility. Once again, I know that in hindsight, doesn't look like an improvement considering last year we finished top 6 and we spent quite a bit of money this summer. But based on the hole we dug ourselves, if we can salvage top 6 and just make Europa League again, to say it's better to stay where you stay pat than to go lower. Obviously, if you telling me I'd rather finish 6th again, no Champions League, but I'd rather take that than finish 11th or 9th, something like that, right? So, I think, depending on how it goes, the top 6 should be an aim. And if we get a little bit of luck and things work out our way, then yeah, why not think of a 4th place, for example? But I think the more realistic goal and something that we could actually achieve is top 6.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're 2 points away from Sampdoria, and we're a better side than Sampdoria. So I think that shouldn't be an issue. But again, there's so much. I just keep stressing this to people, even on Twitter. There's so much to play for in the second half of the season. It's far from done. Being season's over. It's not. There's so much. Just with Coppa Italia and Europa League. Europa League, it could be a really nice run if we're able to play the football that we can. It's gonna be a nice run. Lucas, what do you think? What do you think our chances are in Europa League? I know we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, but what do you think what do you think? What do you think we have to do in order, even if we do get matched up with a tougher team, which is possible. That's the beauty of competition. What do you think? What do you think our chances are? Even just making a deep run, semifinal. I wish we could a final.
Absolutely. I mean, you always want to be optimistic. I think any given game, anyone has a chance.
You're right.
It's tough. It's tough to say because our season has been a roller coaster. And I mean, we could go out in Europa and absolutely dominate. We could come out flat, and we might have to shift our attention to the Coppa Italia. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to go out there, and I hope Gattuso can set his lineup as best he can, and we can get the points we can get. You're right. We score the away goal. We sit back. We defend. Who knows? Who knows? Is a semifinal? Is it crazy to think the semifinal? Maybe to some, but an optimistic Milanisti, why not? Right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we got a couple positive results. Over the past couple of weeks, a 1-1 draw to Fiorentina is decently positive. I mean, Inter went there and drew them too. Juve lost to them last year, so that's not bad. We beat Bologna, we beat Inter in the Coppa Italia, we beat Crotone. So over the past couple of weeks, it's been decent. Obviously we lost to Atalanta and Hellas Verona, which really sucked and really killed the vibe. And that kind of shows how inconsistent. It's just, I don't know, it's just the inconsistency and obviously, Gattuso probably wanted to kill someone when it happened. But, we have had some positive results, so it's all positive thoughts right now, especially during this break. And I think we'll be able to I think we're going to be able to win a few games. And that brings me to, personnel selection, and that brings us to the conversation of Andre Silva, which is a tricky, and what Lucas you just mentioned, a tricky situation. We're not really sure what's going on there. And, we saw a video of him kind of walking after the win against Crotone. He kind of walked out, like, kind of hanging his head, looking sad and stuff like that. What do you think? Or Mike, let's go with you first. What's the issue here? Because Montella didn't play that much in Serie A, and Gattuso, same thing. And I know it takes the players, a little bit to adapt to a league. And, even like Edin Dzeko scored 8 goals in his first year with Roma, and then he's a capocannoniere the next year. So obviously you have to, be patient. But what's up with the playing time? What's going on?
I think I tweeted it out, so basically I'll recite it. Long story short, we'll never know what's going on internally. At the end of the day, Gattuso and staff sees him every single day, whether he's training. So is it a training issue? Does he? I don't know. I've never been for the idea of, a guy's not ready for the league, so let's keep him on the bench. How else is he going to get ready and used to the league if he's not on the field? That's the whole point, right? So that's what I don't agree with, if that's the logic, but I don't think it's that. It's something deeper, and it's something it's something we as fans don't know. Those that are inside and a part of it know, we just don't, and it's that crazy that, like, no one can come to a conclusion about it just because it just doesn't make any sense. So I literally have no idea. I have no theory. I have no nothing other than that they know better than us because they see him and they see the team every single day. That's all I can say, because really it's a confusing situation that we're all trying to figure out, and I don't think we'll ever truly understand how the severity of it and as to why, just because there's no signs of anything. He's just on the bench, and he occasionally plays in Europa League after we spent 38 million on the guy,
and he's talented. He scores every game for Portugal.
Like, the only thing I think is maybe if something got messed up between, like, the relationship between Fasson and Mirabelli with his agent. What was his agent?
George Mendes. Maybe there's no way because they have a good relationship with George Mendes. So.
I know, but, like, maybe something happened. This is kind of like sticking it to him. I don't know.
No, there's no way they would hurt the player.
At this point, I'm considering all options just because there's literally nothing concrete, right? So we'll see.
It might just be tactical decisions, honestly.
I don't know.
That's what I think.
Tactical.
I think it might be tactical. You don't have to
be a soccer genius to know that Kalinic is absolute garbage when he's on the field. Does nothing for us. Like, at this point, okay, Crotone is young and he's proven himself, whatever. But, like, why not? If Kalinic is that garbage, why not put in Andre Silva? Like, he can't do any worse. So, like, there's clearly an upside to it. So that's what I'm saying. There has to be something to it. There has to be.
You know what? Here's my thing, though. Montella said this about Andre Silva, and Gattuso said the same thing. Silva has to simplify his game a little bit. And obviously he has to work on that, And you can tell that Andre Silva, I don't know if you guys know this, but Andre Silva, when he was in Porto's youth academy, he actually grew up as a midfielder. He grew up as a midfielder, so that's why he's so good on the ball, because he played as a midfielder, and he turned to an attacker, a couple of years ago. So I think it's just the matter of just simplifying the game. It's quick. And Gattuso talked about him needing to just play the simple 1-2 when it needs to be played and stuff like that, instead of taking it and trying to do a move, beat your man 1-on-1. And I think he has to work on that. And and Kalinic he's one of those strikers that gets his shirt dirty, and that's what Montella said a few months ago, that he gets his shirt dirty, and then he is a striker who gets his shirt dirty. And what I mean by that is that
I guess his shirt dirty because he's always on the floor.
But what I mean by that is when you put your body everywhere, you're hold up the ball everywhere and stuff like that.
No, I get that, but I just don't see his benefit on it. I think he just slows everything down. He doesn't have a good build-up play. He doesn't have a good holding play. Unless the only reason why they're playing Kalinic over Andre Silva is because they know they spent that money, so they possibly. But at the same time, I think they're kind of playing them just because But then again, it doesn't make sense. Montella's not here anymore. It's just a crazy situation. I'll never understand it.
But it could be tactics, though. You guys said it. It could honestly be Gattuso saying, "Listen, Kalinic, you're a little bit more of a veteran.
He's experienced.
Your experience is crucial to me at this point in time. I want you to slow the play down. I want you to try and create a build-up play. I mean, you're right. We did spend all this money on Kalinic. Why keep Kalinic on the bench when Silva's a little bit younger and has more time to develop, right?"
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Lucas, because they could just be really patient. They could just be really patient with Silva and say, "Listen," right? They could just be saying, "Listen, And here's the thing: do you really want, if we're winning a game 2-0, do you want Andre Silva to come on for 10 minutes? I guess that's basically pointless. What's the point?
It's pointless. Yes.
That's what I hate when he gets those. We were down 2-0 at Atalanta, and Silva comes on for the last 12 minutes.
I don't think he's much of a
but he doesn't. He doesn't benefit by that though at all.
Exactly, I agree.
And it's just Cutrone has earned his minutes, but he should be. I love Cutrone. I absolutely adore him, but Silva should be getting some minutes as well, and they should be able to split up the time a little bit. Kind of just to get both of them in action. And it seems like Andre Silva still hasn't really got his feet wet in Serie A yet. You know what I mean? He hasn't really. He started matches. He started the derby. Okay, that's a tough match to score in. Come on. Then he started against Roma, another tough match to score in. And then he gets these 25-minute features when games were already. We beat Kiev 4-1. And he came on in the 80th minute and it was 4-1 already. What is he going to do? Make it 5-1? No, you're just killing the game off at that point, right? So it's definitely a difficult situation to understand. And I do trust Gattuso, everybody, to figure it out with him. And I'm sure Gattuso's, talking to him. And he's still 22 years old. I mean, he's so young. And he's the Portuguese golden boy, right? So that's who they want to, be the star of the national team when Cristiano is done. So we'll see. But yeah, it's just definitely a weird situation, and I don't know. Hopefully it gets cleared up soon. But I think again, this vacation is really, really good. I think this little break is good. He comes back refreshed. Maybe Andre Silva gets a start against Cagliari. I hope so. I hope he gets a start. I hope he just starts, and I hope he gets his first Serie A goal, because I'm pretty sick and tired of people on Twitter saying he has no Serie A goal, he's not good, when he's a joint leading scorer in Europa League. And that's not an easy feat. Obviously it's it's Europa League, whatever, but he still has to score. So Mike, what do you think? Do you think that, even though Milan already said, according to Gianluca Di Marzio, they said that, they're not going to sell him. He's not for sale. Do you think he might get, pissed off and want to leave, or do you think he's okay with the being patient?
I mean, I think naturally he's obviously not going to be pleased, considering we saw that video and stuff that's been circulating. I mean, I don't blame him. If I were him, the only advice I'd give him is tough it out for a year because we don't know what's going to happen next year. For example, if we get a coach like Conte who can come in and maybe sees your value versus what's been going on this season, or if Kalinic gets sold in the summer, like, you know what I mean? I would wait it out for a season, the rest of the season at least, see what happens in the summer, and then from there, I don't think he should be jumping ship this early, especially that we've seen guys like you mentioned, Dzeko and stuff like proven guys like that. Like it takes a little bit of time, so maybe that's the same thing for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little bit of a waiting game. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be, but it is. But at the end of the day, good things are to come for this guy. So I would hold on to him.
Yeah, no, so would I. I think he's incredibly talented, and I think him and Cutrone, to have him and Cutrone in the line, as striker options is huge for us, and keeping both of them would be absolutely perfect. I love both of them. On my phone, the wallpaper is them two, and it's a picture of them two. Like I love them, and I think they're the fans love both. The fans love both of them. The fans never whistled to Andre Silva. They've always cheered him on and everything like that. So, I think it's going to be interesting, but I think this break is good for everybody involved. And, I think that, Andre Silva has to keep working hard and, put his head down, just put work in, and he'll get his minutes. Kind of like Cutrone did. Cutrone didn't play for a little bit either, and he was able to, work hard and get minutes. So before we wrap things up, I'm going to open it up just to any questions or any comments you have about anything. So Lucas, start with you. Any comments for positive comments or comments for questionable stuff about the squad, about personnel? What do you think, or something you want to shout out about something? What do you think?
I think, and I think this is a positive. Rodriguez does not get discussed enough because I think he just comes into every game, every match, and he does what he has to do. I think he's actually a very good left back, and he's playing the position well. In saying that, and I don't like to talk about a lot of negatives, but I think Lucas Biglia has been one of the biggest disappointments of the season so far.
Yeah, he has.
I don't see. I see a lot of sloppy play, and
yeah.
And for a guy we spent money on and had a lot of high hopes for, it's disappointing. It's not ideal, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're giving everyone else an opportunity and being patient. I guess we should do the same for him. But there were a lot of high hopes. Other than that, I think the second half of the season should go a lot better. I feel as though Gattuso's adapting to the formation and the style of play, and again his Grinta attitude and the way he's coaching and the passion he has behind winning, it's inspiring, and I truly can't wait to see how it unfolds.
For sure. Mike, what about you? Anything? Mike? Oh, he's out. His internet just sucks. I think one for me would be definitely the resurgence of Leonardo Bonucci. Ever since that red card against Genoa, he's been absolute world class. I think he's looking like himself again.
Yes.
After a couple of rough months, and it's tough to get back and go to a new team, and tactically you have to get used to it and stuff like that. So, I've been very impressed, and it's the Bonucci that I've come to see at Juve. I've seen with the Azzurri, and he's been absolutely great, and so is Romagnoli, and obviously we have to tighten things up, but I'm positive right now. I think we're gonna get the results, and I think everything's gonna be okay in the Milan world soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I truly do hope so.
Tons to play for, and lucky for us, there's tons to talk about with podcasts. We're gonna try to keep consistent with them. To the guys listening right now and who are listening on iTunes later and on Google Play. We with exams, stuff like that, it was tough, but now, we're going to try to get it out, a couple times a month, different podcasts. So stay tuned. These are really, really fun. And we love discussing what's going on in the Milan world. So Mike, I guess, legged out, which obviously sucks, but we'll talk to him later. Lucas, your debut in the podcast. And this is what your first podcast ever, no?
Yes, this is actually the first podcast I've
You did
done.
well. You did well. You did
Thank
well.
you.
We'll
Thank you. I
we'll
appreciate
definitely have you on. Maybe we'll have you on the next one too if you're interested.
Yeah, that's all. I had a great time, man. It was fun talking to you
sure.
and to
For
the other
sure.
Milanisti.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that we'll have some more positive. We'll have some positive things to talk about in the next couple of weeks for sure. I think, I don't know, it's just a hunch of mine, but yeah.
Like to hear. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening again. Catch us on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at TheMilanGuys. Follow Lucas on Twitter. Lucas is at Lucas_Uggenti. Follow him on Twitter. He has a newer account. Definitely follow him. He's a good follow. Has some good takes. Follow me at Luca_LaPorta. And Mike doesn't even have a Twitter account. He's just the Milan guys. So follow us there and stay tuned, guys. Ciao, guys. Forza Milan.